We welcome you to NFL Network's coverage of the Third American Football World Cup 2007 from Todoroki Stadium in Kawasaki, Japan. It is the United States participating in the World Cup for the first time, taking on a team from Japan. This is the final game of the World Cup. Team USA taking on the two-time champion of the World Cup, Japan. They won in Italy back in 1999 and in Germany in 2003. It is a wet, soggy, humid day at Todoroki Stadium in Kawasaki, Japan. Chris Carino and Brian Baldinger with you as the United States getting set to take on a Japanese team. These have been clearly the two best teams in the World Cup 2007.
Yeah, and the Americans here, of course, the favorites, but they have a lot of respect for the Japanese team. The Japanese has won this tournament twice. They've been playing American football for over 70 years in their country, and they know that they've got to be at their best today to come home with the trophy.
Cody Childs taking it in for a United States team that beat Korea 77-0 in the first game of this tournament. A little tougher test from Germany in their next game, but still a victory for the United States, 33-7. Special teams a factor in that one. You talk about the Japanese team, Brian. They crushed their two opponents by a combined score of 96-0. And USA will have their hands full in this game.
Well, listen, the Americans know that the Japanese are going to come out playing a one-back college option, wide spread offense, and they can execute. And if they're not ready to play today and at full speed, this Japanese team can upset them.
Japan won the previous two World Cups of American football. They're the only team in this tournament not to allow a point, crushing France and Sweden along the way. And they have a masterful offense. I know you've taken note of it.
Yeah, I tell you, if you remember Vince Young at the University of Texas win a national championship in the shotgun, one back there, and all kinds of options and misdirections. That's what you're going to see from the Japanese today. And I'm telling you, teams that want to run this offense in college football and pro football should take note today, because they'll see plays they've never seen run before.
Japan, 2 48-0 victories got them to this point, looking for their third consecutive World Cup of American football. The International Federation of American Football, 45 associations around the world, 21 countries qualifying for this tournament. 6 make the final. It's down to 2 in Kawasaki, Japan. The United States getting set to take the field. John Mackovic, the head coach of the United States team, had a difficult task back in the fall of last year trying to put this American squad together.
Well, I mean, it was John Mackovic and a laptop computer and a couple of interns going and putting this whole thing together. These kids have gone to training camp for all of 2 weeks, going up against a Japanese team that is basically a professional team, a team that has played 8 or 10 games preparing for this tournament. So just like the Americans in a lot of international tournaments, they are up against basically professionals today.
The United States taking the field, for many of these players, a chance in their post-college careers to show that they can play at a higher level. And Brian, you talk about their quarterback, Adam Alston, will start in this game, a backup. As you see that offense, the height and weight in the metric system, by the way, but Adam Alston, a quarterback with a chance here to show something.
Yeah, I mean, Adam Alston was a walk-on at the University of Arizona for John Mackovic when he was still coaching there, and earned a spot on the team, and then finally earned a spot to start for Arizona last fall, but got injured, and so never really played in college at all. But he's very smart, very bright, and now he gets a chance maybe to springboard his career.
And his defense in their first game against Korea, how about these stats? Minus 31 yards rushing, did not allow a first down in the game. The team from Japan making their way out onto the field in Kawasaki, Japan. And a lot of our audience interested to note that the history of Japanese football goes back to the 1930s. Took a brief respite around the World War II era, but then came back. They've got 64 corporate-sponsored semi-pro teams, 220 university teams, 106 high school teams. That pales in comparison to the United States level of participation, but that's pretty good for Japan. It's a very popular sport, as you see their starting lineups.
Well, they basically play at the college level. Most colleges have teams. They have a professional league. We'll see a lot of those guys in this game today. And guys have been playing the game for a long time. Quarterbacks here today are 34 years old. You know, they've been around a long time, and they play a very disciplined brand of football.
And their defense is the only team in the six-team tournament not to allow a single point in this tournament. We have got the kickoff. Japan and the United States coming up next on NFL Network.
The class.
We welcome you to NFL Network's coverage of the 2007 World Cup of American Football. Chris Carrino and Brian Baldinger with you. This game being played in Kawasaki, Japan. The final of the 2007 World Cup. Japan looking for their third World Cup title. They took the first two World Cups in 1999 and again in 2003. There's Greg Coffin out of Southern Illinois. Is Saluki. He'll kick and punt for the United States team, and he will kick things off here in Japan.
For those wondering, Craig, about Craig Coffin and where they're at in Kawasaki, it's right across the river from Tokyo, a suburb of Tokyo, Japan, largest city capital. So that's where a lot of these teams have stayed, but playing the championship game across the river in Kawasaki.
Coffin will kick off to Ken Shimizu. And we're underway in the championship game. Both teams come in dominating their first two games of the World Cup, and Coffin sends that one sailing right out of the end zone. Japan will start their own 20. Japan has won their two games by a combined score of 96-0. The United States 100-7 in their two victories. And here is Tetsu Takada. 12-minute quarters. And you see the clock will run as Japan in the red sets up for their first play from scrimmage. On a 1st and 10 of their own 20 from the shotgun. You'll see a lot of that. Shimizu in motion. Play clock running down. Going deep, and it is intercepted. Kenny Chiquin still on the move, and will finally be brought down inside the 15-yard line. First play from scrimmage, a turnover.
And a great start for USA, as Chiquin was the free safety on the play and read the quarterback's eyes. You see the range that he has. The receiver actually got behind the corner, but Chiquin read the quarterback in his eyes and the throw. Played a good center field and then had a good return after the interception. So USA will start with very good field position.
The Cal Poly product, Kenny Chiquin out of Huntington Beach, California, two-time All-Great Western Conference player, coming up with the interception. Adam Austin under center for the United States. Kyle Kasperbauer will get the call, and he was going nowhere on first down. A loss of one. Terada making the stop for Japan.
Yeah, the USA has really put together this team in less than 2 weeks. So what you're watching here is an all-star team. Actually, John Makovic, the head coach, said it's not an all-star team, it's a true team. In fact, highest priority was just character, guys that had had a clean record throughout college. Very, very important to him because he knew one bad apple on the road could spoil all the fun.
2nd down and 11. Austin under center. He'll throw. Complete. First down. Abiari out of Saginaw Valley State, Michigan, coming up with a catch. He's an outstanding kick returner. Returned a kick for a touchdown to start this tournament in their game against Korea, and he comes up with a first down catch.
Well, just a simple slant route right in front of the corner. You see the safety came by just a little bit late, had maybe a chance to pick that off, but was able to squeeze it in there and the first down.
Sets up a 1st and goal. Clock continuing to run as Austin sets up. Kyle Kasperbauer is the halfback with Cody Childs in front of him. He'll give to Kasperbauer, hits the line, and he gets back to about the line of scrimmage. That is all. Kihira making the stop for Japan.
What I've seen from the Japanese defense so far is obviously they're not going to have great size. That's what they're missing. But with that, they have good quickness, good lateral quickness, and that's what you see right there, coming over the top to make that tackle.
Kyle Kasper-Bauer out of Nebraska Omaha, a two-time All-North Central Conference player in that Division II school. And he sets up as the lone back on a 2nd and goal. Adam Austin hands to Kasper-Bauer. And he will score, barreling his way into the end zone. Kyle Kasper-Bauer, and the United States taking an interception and converting it into 7 points.
Good surge off the right side, just following the fullback. Like the Japan defense got caught in a stunt and got hooked, and the alley opened right up for Kasper-Bauer. Good start for the Americans.
Craig Coffin on for the point after. The United States, which beat Korea 77-0 in their first game, then beat Germany 33-6 to get to this championship game. Used less than 3 minutes to get on the board. The kick is good. The United States a 7-0 lead over Japan. We're back after this on NFL Network. Kyle Kasper-Bauer's 5-yard touchdown run, and the United States a 7-0 lead in the early going.
Right behind Atkins, the right guard, and Robinson, the right tackle. Atkins did a great job of hooking his man. And you see the alley just open up. Kasper-Bauer just put his head down and just barreled through the end zone there to get on the scoreboard.
Makovic, the head coach of the United States, he talked about what a tireless effort it was for him to put this team together. They take a 7-0 lead.
I think, like all coaches that coach internationally and put an all-star team together like this, it's a rewarding process, an awful lot of work, a lot of help that came along the way. But John is the guy that really spearheaded this whole operation beginning about the middle of October last year.
And of course, the United States did not compete in the World Cup of American football in the previous 2 World Cups. Japan winning both of those as Coffin sends this one deep, and again well into the end zone. Coffin has looked impressive on his kickoffs. The United States has been impressive throughout, and we're back right after this. Change at quarterback for Japan. Kitaro Namiki, with 1 touchdown of this tournament, will take over at the quarterback spot for Japan. The United States a 7-0 lead on a 5-yard touchdown run by Kyle Kasper-Bauer. First down and 10 for Japan. They'll take over at their own 20-yard line. Namiki played briefly with Cologne in NFL Europa back in the 04-05 season. And he will keep it. Get about a yard, turn backwards that time by Demetrius Eaton inside. Ryan Tully there as well, coming up from the linebacker spot. Give him a gain of 2.
This is a fun offense to watch. I mean, they're going to be in a shotgun every snap on offense today. If you remember Vince Young winning a national championship at Texas, very similar type offense. They spread the field with 3 or 4 wide receivers, 1 running back, a lot of option fakes to start the play, and then good movement by the quarterback.
They go back to Takata at the quarterback spot on a 2nd down and 9. Fake the inside handoff, and Takata's going nowhere. Tackled for a loss. Demetrius Eaton again, player out of Northwestern, who actually captained that team for the last 4 weeks of his senior year. He makes the stop.
That's the offensive coordinator of Japan, Keoki Mori, up there calling the plays in. Their first 3rd down here today.
3rd and 9. Takata remains in.
Good quickness, though. The quarterback has good quickness, can make people miss in traffic.
They'll shuttle their quarterbacks in. So Namiki start this possession. Takata will throw, and he completes a pass, and that's a 1st down and a big hit. Dustin Bluey just leveled Takuri Furatani. And you see Coach Abe is a little bit concerned about that shot.
Well, here's the little quick option screen right here. Now he's running. He doesn't see DeLuey at all. DeLuey comes in and just knocks the block right off him. I mean, a championship game hit here in the open field.
Dustin DeLuey out of Montana.
Man, right on the ear hole. Knocked the helmet off and cut the eye of the back.
Furutani will try and shake off the effects of that, and we'll come back next on NFL Network.
Coughlin, you're watching NFL Network.
Takuya Furutani, 2004 International Player of the Year, got his bell rung by Dustin DeLuey. Seems to be okay as he comes off, and a first down and 10 for Japan. He did get a first down before taking that hit. This is his backup now, Ishino. He'll get ahead for about 6 yards before Dustin Allen finally brought him down. There's Dustin Allen out of Trinity, Friendswood, Texas.
This offense, Chris, of Japan, it really forces the USA team to be disciplined because there's a lot of misdirection. And if you take your eyes off where they don't belong, you'll follow a fake and you'll get taken out of the play. So you really need to hit your gaps, be disciplined in what you're doing, and not get caught with your eyes in the backfield.
Takata takes the snap on 2nd and 4. Over the middle, it is complete. Shimizu, after a 16-yard pickup on a 1st and 10, only brought down by Cary Wade, but not before first down yardage for Ken Shimizu.
Well, they like to move the quarterback. All right, so here he is just on a sprint option, and you can see the Americans are playing a zone, and the receiver's just sitting down in the dead spot of the zone, and the ball gets delivered just perfectly. I mean, a good accurate throw on the run, and they found the dead spot in the zone, and the first down is on.
A first down and 10 in United States territory at the 46-yard line. And here comes the wide receiver coming around to take the handoff. Shimizu again, and he picks up 4 yards. Rob Rodriguez coming up from the cornerback spot to make the tackle.
But if you're watching this right here, you're saying, okay, there's the coordinator, the offensive coordinator Mori, and the Americans have had just 2 days to get ready for this game, and they're watching things for the first time in an offense that they've never seen before in practice, and so a lot of this stuff is catching them off guard right now. Just the newness of it and the crispness of how they execute.
2nd down and 6. Takata, inside handoff, Ishino, and he'll get about a yard. DeLuey made that big hit on Furutani moments ago, making the stop. Tully in there as well. That's Ryan Tully out of Harvard for John McAfee.
That's the defensive coordinator, George Darlington, for the Americans. Spent 30 years at the University of Nebraska, won a couple of national championships there under a couple different head coaches. Brings a world of experience, but I can tell you Nebraska didn't see a lot of this. Maybe Oklahoma in the days of the wishbone saw a little bit of this.
Out of the shotgun again, Takata. Running out of room, and Takata will go down around the line of scrimmage. Ryan Tully led a group of defenders that time, and Takata gets no gain.
Well, it's a good play by the Americans. They really took this. Watch Takata here. He wants to go back to his left, but the receiver is covered. Good decision by him to pull that ball down and not force a throw.
Sets up a 4th down in a punting situation now for Japan. Namiki will punt it. Kentaro Namiki.
Time for a pooch punt here.
Namiki gets it away. There's that pooch. And nicely done. It will be down at the 8-yard line. That's where the United States will take over. When we come back, 7-0. The United States in front from Kawasaki, Japan on the NFL Network. And we're right back after this. Kentaro Namiki's pooch punt puts him down at the 8-yard line where the United States take over. Chris Carino and Brian Baldinger with you for this World Cup 2007 American Football Championship. The United States competing for the first time in this event. This is the third World Cup of American football. Japan took the first two in '99, and Italy in 2003 in Germany. Austin throwing, incomplete. Intended for Steve Odom out of Toledo, but Adam Austin, not a good pass that time, Balden.
Well, it looked like, you know, it was an option route. We're just going to do a little stop and go right here, and the timing just isn't there. But how much timing can you expect when 45 guys come together and have practiced for less than 2 weeks? So we'll see some of that today, just miscommunication.
And that guy, Makiuchi, he bit pretty hard on the fake from
No, he got exactly what he wanted. He got behind the defender. It was just the wrong throw by Austin.
Adam Austin, active for 7 games at Arizona this season. Got a chance to start in a game against Stanford, a victory, as he hands off. And Lekowski will run for just a couple of yards. Hirai making the stop. Sets up a 3rd down and 8.
It's early on in the game, but Japan looks like they're good tacklers. I mean, this is just a good open field tackle here on the draw fake. You see they go low, they run right through the man. I mean, I think they're fundamentally a pretty sound football team like that.
Well, I think obviously a difference from the United States' first 2 games, Korea and Germany. This is going to be a tightly contested game. Clock continues to run. 3rd down and 9. Austin out of the shotgun. Pass over the middle is broken up. Would not have been 1st down yardage regardless. Incomplete. Kudo gets kudos that time for his defensive play.
No, he timed it well. I think he was already dropping the pass before he got hit. I mean, I think if you see this here, ball's already through his hands, and now he's just finished by the defender.
Greg Aker out of Duluth. And it'll be a punting situation. Craig Coffin handles both the punting and kicking chores for this team. Gets this one away from his own goal line. Now go out of bounds. Japan will have good field position when we come back. The World Cup 2007 of American football. Kawasaki, Japan, the southern suburb of Tokyo. Todoroki Stadium, and that's Yuichi Tomizawa coming in at quarterback. 3rd quarterback used by Japan, and he'll give to Furitani, and Furitani gets a yard. Good to see him back into the game, Brian, after that big hit he took from DeLuey earlier.
The one that knocked his helmet off and cut his eye. Got a little treatment, butterflied that thing up, and back in the game.
Gets a yard on 1st down.
All these teams with limited rosters, so there's not a lot of depth at any position.
Tomizawa under center now, I should say, in the shotgun. Looking to throw over the sideline, complete, and a 1st down. Nakajima with the catch from Tomizawa. Teeples made the stop, but a 1st down for Japan.
There's good connection there. Good connection, good timing on the throw in the route. Ball was delivered before the receiver even turned around. So you can see that the Japanese have timing within this offense.
And
good timing.
Speeding it up right now, getting to the line of scrimmage. Tomizawa again. Shimizu in motion. Give it up the middle to Furitani. And he gets a couple of yards out to the 30-yard line. Pickup of 3. Tully making the stop for the United States, but a 2nd down and 7.
You know, part of this tournament is to promote football worldwide. And so, you know, 6 teams came over to Japan, and we're down to the final 2 here. But when you just watch the level of execution right now, I mean, getting on the field, off the field, getting the play and getting the play run, you have to be impressed by how that's all being accomplished now.
21 teams tried to qualify for this tournament. They whittled it down to 6. Now we're down to 2. Tomizawa going deep, and that will sail incomplete.
Good coverage.
That was intended for Akito Amaya. Good coverage on the play, and it brings up a 3rd down and 7 for Japan.
Well, that play was designed to go into that attack the cover 2 hole in the defense, behind a corner in front of the safety, and the USA really squeezed that really well.
3rd and 7. Tomizawa. Flip inside. That's a first down and more for Itani. A pickup of 13 yards. Teeples made the stop, but a first down to the 17-yard line of the United States.
Really good call because the Americans overplayed the rollout. They come and blitz the outside, but then they come underneath it. Kind of sucker punch you right there. And again, we've seen on a third down here today on this drive, a completed first down off a little quick screen. Really good misdirection, get it to where the Americans aren't, and a lot of yardage to be gained.
Yeah, the creativity of this Japanese offense. In the final minute of the first quarter, Japanese driving here. The inside handoff, Furitani, and he's got 5 yards before Ryan Tully makes the stop. But Furitani coming in and doing well on this drive after having his helmet knocked off by a big hit by Dustin DeLuey earlier in this first quarter. You got to be happy if you're that guy, the Coach Abe of Japan. The first quarter winding down. Japan on the doorstep. The United States a 7-0 lead. And that is the end of the first quarter. From Kawasaki, Japan, the World Cup of American football. The final game, USA-Japan. We'll have the second quarter coming up next on NFL Network. Kawasaki, Japan is the World Cup of American football, sponsored by the International Federation of American Football. First time the United States participating in this event. Japan won the first 2 World Cups, and right now on the doorstep, going to get even with the United States as we begin the second quarter.
Yeah, trying to finish off a really good drive, highlighted by a couple of good screens on third downs to keep the drives alive.
12-minute quarters in the World Cup of American football. Takata. There's Japan on the move again. Takata running. Hit behind the line, and he'll go down, losing a couple of yards. Chased down by Adam Paulson, the linebacker.
See that misdirection there, Chris? That if you're not disciplined, and the Americans were very disciplined on that play, if you're following the ball and following the action, you'll miss that cutback there. And so good job of staying home and keeping in your lanes and keeping your eyes in the right place. And that's the task of the defensive coordinator, George Darlington, here today.
Third down and 6. Tetsuo Takata. 3 quarterbacks have been used so far for Japan on 3rd and 6. Takata eludes defenders, has a first down inside the 5-yard line to the 3.
Well, they had him.
At the 2. They had him, didn't get him.
Yeah, they had him bottled up, and he tucked right underneath them. Like, I'm not sure he's okay right now. He just took it. He just buckled him. Coming back to the huddle. Might have hurt his knee going down. Watch this. I mean, they've got him in place here. Boom, good fake right there. But watch the finish here of this play. Looks like his knee got jammed up a little bit, hitting the ground, and didn't look like he was okay coming back to the huddle. Head first, though. Knows exactly where the sticks are to get that first down.
They'll put him down at the 2-yard line. Takata comes off.
Doesn't look
first
like,
down at 2 from the 2.
It doesn't look like Japan has any problem with rotating quarterbacks.
No.
We've seen all 3 on this drive.
Start the clock in motion. 1st and goal. They bring in Tomizawa. Tomizawa on 1st and goal. Play fake. End zone. Touchdown. Well, they went to a big defensive lineman, Mitsunori Kahira, eligible on the play, and he catches the touchdown. And Brian Baldinger, that's got to bring a tear to your eye.
I tell you what, it's the first time all day they took a snap from center.
How about that?
And then the first time play action pass like that.
Throw to a lineman.
Yeah, and they throw to a lineman like that, which, you know, you got to throw it to the athletes.
Yes.
You got to get the athletes involved. And he jumped for that. He jumped that, cut that ball away from his body, showed good hands, stripped the gloves off, and we may have a tie game here.
Well, he had an interception return for a touchdown in the qualifying rounds as Kenyoa puts it up and in. Japan evens it up at 7. We're back right after this. Japan ties the game at 7. 9 plays, 45 yards, took 3 minutes and 42 seconds, and they throw to a lineman, a defensive lineman, Mitsunori Kahira. He looked elegant doing it.
They always put the athletes on defense. You know, I mean, he looks like an athlete, though. Extends his hands, catches the ball with his fingertips, squeezes it, and then has been accepting nothing but hugs and congratulations in the end zone on the sideline.
But Brian, I mean, I'm impressed with the imaginative nature of this Japanese offense.
It's very creative. It's very creative, and we've seen a lot of shots of Coach Abe on the sideline. He was a guy that tried to retire. The Japanese basically brought him out of retirement because he has this innovative type offense. And I've watched some of these plays today, and I'm saying, I don't know if I've seen some of these plays in college or the NFL. Maybe a new wave of innovation could come from the islands of Japan.
Normally, Japan would put their team together right before these international competitions. They actually assembled earlier and played a group of Hawaiian All-Stars, just trying to get to the American game, see what that was like, because they knew the Americans would compete in this World Cup of football as a touchback for the United States, and they'll have it in their own 20-yard line.
Well, you know, they played an Army national team over there. They scored 98 points against them. They played a Navy national team over there in Japan and crushed them as well. And so if any American thought that they were just going to show up and say that we invented this game and we're going to win, as we see the rain falling in Kawasaki here, they're crazy.
Adam Alston out of the shotgun. Look out. Got it off. It is complete. Brian Thompson, the tight end, gets a first down. Alston hit as he threw the ball, hit hard.
Never saw the defender coming. Came free and really whacked him just as he threw it. You'll see him does a good job of just staying in there and really concentrating on the target as he gets walled pretty good from the backside.
Brian Thompson, who played at Michigan, Saginaw native. First down at 10. Adam Alston pitches it to Wendell Johnson. And Johnson on that losing yard. Terada makes the stop. Wendell Johnson out of Fairmont State. Miami, Florida native. And there's a player shaken up. Takayuki Terada, who made the tackle, the defensive back, shake it up. Actually belonged to the practice squad of the Green Bay Packers back in 2005. Another look at Wendell Johnson and the hit. They got him shaken up.
Yeah, it's just the knee right to the head. You mentioned NFL Europa. A lot of these guys have been national players playing in that league over in Europe, the spring league of the NFL, which just disbanded this past spring. But in talking to a lot of Japanese players through their interpreters when I was over there, a lot of these people, these kids, they choose a sport early on in life in Japan, and they stay with it. You know, that's the sport that they play. Now, they all love baseball, so most of them have played baseball, but they choose football, they stay with it.
106 high school teams compete in Japan, 220 university teams. Casper Bauer lost the ball. Recovered by Japan. Miyake comes up with the recovery as Casper Bauer lost the handle in this heavy rain in Japan.
Well, you mentioned the rain. You see the raincoats on the fans there, but I think this was just a good hit from behind. I don't think Casper Bauer ever felt the defender. You'll see him. He gets through the hole, and then in the traffic there, that ball gets popped out from behind. I don't think that's a result of a slippery ball or anything else. That's just a good hit on the ball, knocking it loose.
And Seoka, who made the hit. Miyake makes the recovery. The United States got an interception on the first play from scrimmage of this game, turned that into a touchdown. Now the Japanese see if they can convert on the fumble recovery. A first down and 10 on the United States 36-yard line. And they'll come with Shimizu coming around the end, and he'll get about 6 yards on the carry. And Shimizu, second time we've seen him come on the end around.
No, it's impossible to know how fast these guys are, but he just turned the corner there coming on that that motion, and it looks like they have good quickness and a lot of guys that have good speed on this Japan's offense.
I think that's where you could see a Japanese player end up in a roster in the NFL. We see Kinoshita, who played for Amsterdam this year in NFL Europa, going over to play with the Falcons. That position, return man. He'll go in motion again. He'll get the handoff again. And he's sprung out, gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Looked like the same exact play going this one to the left.
DeLuey ran him out of bounds. Let's see what the flag is.
This is our first penalty here today.
International officials. It's clip. That'll be 15 yards.
These international officials, no officials from the teams that are playing. So no American officials or no Japanese officials can officiate this game. They're all under the heading of Tony Mahalik, the director of officiating internationally, works under Mike Pereira in the New York office.
Number 3 team Japan is from end of the play, 15-yard penalty. Next down will be 2.
My guess is he's probably German.
And the next down will be 2, meaning second down coming up.
It's 5. It's 5 down.
I'll leave the German to you.
Yeah. There it is. Ooh, that's a play right there where you can really, that's how guys get injured, diving at the legs like that.
That's Furatani, the guy who got hit by DeLuey earlier in the game, got his helmet knocked off. So second down and 19. Tomizawa will throw, or I should say take it from the shotgun. Now he'll roll. Can he get away from the pressure? He does. It is complete. Nakajima with the completion goes for 12 yards. Rodriguez makes the hit. Sets up a 3rd and 7.
Quarterback is accurate on the run. We've seen a number of throws today down the field, rolling one way or the other, this time to his right, and the receiver did a good job of coming back to that football and escaping some pressure.
3rd down and 7 coming up from the 33-yard line of the United States. Japan has been perfect on 3rd down. Mizawa to throw again. Broke it up and nearly intercepted. Was initially hit by Van Alstyne. And then Moorhead came up and nearly made the interception, and it will be 4th down for Japan.
Well, that was a huge play by Van Alstyne, because they were going to set up another one of those screens, which we've seen him convert a number of times on 3rd down today. But good instincts by Van Alstyne to stop his rush and to play the ball in the air and really stop what looked like a pretty good scoring drive after the fumble by Casper Bauer.
It's actually Adam Paulson, the linebacker, who came up, nearly made the interception after Van Alstyne's tip. And now we get a timeout as Japan set up for a field goal. A field goal attempt that'll be close to 50 yards. So the United States uses one of their 3 timeouts in the first half as the rain falls in Kawasaki, Japan.
Well, that's the first mistake, I think, by the Americans in this game here today, outside of the fumble, was they didn't have the right personnel on the field goal block team. Right people out there, which can happen when you're putting a team together from basically ground zero in 2 weeks. So you guys all counting heads.
Misuki Kanioa will attempt this field goal.
Not the best conditions.
Yeah, long field goal attempt in tough conditions. The holder is Yo Nakajima, the wide receiver who made that catch on 2nd down. From 49 yards, Kanioa. Got it! And Japan takes a 10-7 lead. You're watching the World Cup of American Football.
McCarthy, you're watching NFL Network.
Yosuke Kanioa has just connected on a 49-yard field goal. And Japan takes a 10-7 lead over the United States. That was after the fumble by Casper Bauer. And now the United States will start at their own 20-yard line. So they They go 4 plays, just 3 yards, 1 minute and 27 seconds, but they take a 10-7 lead.
Kicker's got a good leg. 49-yard field goal in the rain, and then fouls it up with a kickoff that is caught for a touchback.
So Adam Austin will try and get something started here for the United States. 1 turnover apiece. Both times it's led to a score for the other team.
Austin hasn't thrown the ball deep down the field yet. Haven't taken 1 shot vertical in this offense so far.
On 1st and 10, Marcus Lewis in motion. They'll kick it out to Blakowski. He's got room and a first down. Pickup of 12 for Doug Blakowski out of Hobart. 2-time Division III All-American. And that gives the United States a first down out to the 32-yard line. Nice run by the 5'9", 194-pound Blakowski.
Trading in there with Casper Bauer, who fumbled in the last series. Led to the go-ahead field goal here of Japan, leading 10-7 in the second quarter.
Austin will throw. Pressure, gets rid of it, and broke it up. You see Steve Odom wants a flag, will not get it. As Tamanoi making the breakup of that pass, incomplete, 2nd down and 10.
Well, it was just a good time. Good timing here. See, Odom comes back to the ball, but I mean, I think that's just good defense. Got that ball, they got that arm underneath the armpit there, and really was able to knock that ball away.
All-league player in Japan. Semi-pro teams, university teams, those are the main 2 leagues in Japan. And they face off at the end of every season in a thing called the Rice Bowl. As again, the handoff to Blakowski. This time, he's going to lose yardage. Akasaka making a stop for Japan.
As I said, you know, you just see like they have good quickness. Laterally, they're very quick, and they can get over the bodies and through the soup, and they pursue very well. Just a power O play that they overplayed, and then you see the pursuit from behind. Both teams look like they're in good condition. Both playing their 3rd game in 5 days.
It's the pounding you get, though, that's got to take a toll playing that many
Well,
games.
you know, you're 22, 23. You think you could take it at that age a little bit better.
3rd down and 11, Austin. Lofts one up, incomplete. A lot of coverage around Marcus Lewis that time. And it's going to be a punting situation for the United States and their head coach, John McAvey.
And you saw Austin just looking at his hand there. I don't know if that ball slipped. It looked like it sailed on him quite a bit. Just figure playing at the University of Arizona probably didn't get a lot of chances to play with.
Not a lot of rain there.
Not a lot of wet balls to work with.
No. Unless you're heading on up to Oregon or Oregon State in the Pac-10. 4th down and 11 now. We'll set up Coffin's punt.
There's a formation you don't see much on punt. Spread it out.
Back protecting. Yeah. Shimizu. And he's going to go down. Lost yardage on the return. Rodriguez makes the stop to the United States. And Japan will take over. 1st down and 10 on their own 25-yard line.
It's my time out. We have an injured player on the field. Injured player.
Players shaken up.
Here's the last throw by Austin. It said that looked like the ball really sailed on him. And then he looks at his hand there. And I think he's upset with himself because he had the receiver open. The Americans got the opening.
He is the guy who returned the kick. Right. He is down injured right now.
The injuries have
key player for the Japanese squad, wide receiver and kick returner.
I think all the injuries today have occurred to the Japanese players thus far.
Piled on. So we'll take a quick timeout. Japan on top, 10-7. We're back after this on NFL Network.
And you're watching the NFL Network.
They're still attending to Ken Shimizu, who was injured returning that last punt. He's a key player, return man, wide receiver. We've seen him carry for a couple of rushes in this game on end arounds and just gets swallowed up. Yeah, got the neck bent. Paulson came in and hit him. This is the World Cup of American Football 2007. Chris Carrino and Brian Baldinger with you on NFL Network. This game in Kawasaki, Japan, Todoroki Stadium, southern suburb of Tokyo. It's the third World Cup. Japan took the first two. The first time the United States is involved here in this one in 2007. Be the coach of Japan looking on. Just over 10,000 on hand at Todoroki Stadium. Both teams dominated the two games to get to this championship game. Japan beating France and Sweden by a combined 96-0. United States beating Korea 77-0, then a 33-7 win over Germany. First and 10. Namiki, the pitch out. And strung out is Maeda. Naoki Maeda coming out from a wide receiver position to get about a yard. Calvert to stop for the United States.
Well defensed, though. I mean, they were able to hit the quarterback here. Watch this. They did everything they wanted to do. Made the quarterback pay, strung the play out here to the sideline, and were able to make the play to the sideline for basically no gain. I mean, that's exactly the way you want to play a misdirection like that with their little pitch off the option.
Tomizawa back in at quarterback. They've used 3 quarterbacks in this game. On a 2nd down and 9. He's their better passer. This one is dropped. Incomplete. Takuro Mayazumi, the tight end, drops that pass, sets up a 3rd down and 9.
They're able to find the dead spot in the zone, though. I mean, they had a place there. You see the timing here as he turns that ball's in the air, thrown to the right spot. Exactly where you want to put it, on the hands, away from the defender, in the dead spot of the zone. I mean, everything was there except the catch.
Another 3rd down attempt here, 3rd and 9.
There's fake.
Didn't fake the defense, however.
No.
Especially Dustin DeLuey, who makes the stop inside for a loss of 1 on Furatani.
I like the ball mechanics, though.
Yeah.
You know, for a right-handed quarterback, tuck the ball in the left hand, fake it with your right hand, and then hand it off. I haven't seen that ball fake before. We have seen quite a bit of ingenuity from this Japan team.
Kentaro Namiki will punt it away for Japan. Ari is back to receive it. A very good punt and kick returner for the United States, Bobby Ari, who took the opening kickoff of this tournament against Korea, back for a touchdown. He'll get a chance to return this. Ari up the middle. And he is stopped before he can get really big yardage by Terada. But a nice return by Ari out of Saginaw Valley State, a standout special teams player.
That's a good return by Ari. And you can see what just the special teams plays in any game, in any level, can always give a team a lift. Get good field position here to start this drive. Americans need to put a drive together. They've struggled since that opening drive for a touchdown on a short field after the game's opening interception.
So the United States will start on their own 40-yard line. Play fake. Austin to the air. It's complete. He's got Dreckenhahn. Dreckenhahn with the reception. 15 yards. Nagata makes the stop at a 1st down for the United States.
And you see that play action there. It fooled the cameraman on the play. You know, it fooled the cameraman. It fooled the Japanese as well. Austin all kinds of time to locate the receiver. Caught him in stride. And his best throw of the day.
Dreckenhahn out of New Canaan, Connecticut, went to Williams College. Comes up with a reception, 1st down and 10. Austin will throw again. Sailed it over. That was an ugly looking screen. Incomplete.
That was going to be a wide receiver screen, and the receiver fell down.
That'll make it ugly.
Well, you know, it looked like it was pretty well set up.
Again, a lot of rain in Kawasaki, Japan. Sets up a 2nd down and 10.
John Macvick said he was always interested in promoting football worldwide. He's going to spend time in Italy this coming season, working with the Italian national team. Been to Japan quite a few times, working with the Japanese. Had a lot of respect for how they coach and the discipline they play with.
2nd down and 10. Austin again swings it out to his running back Cody Childs. Childs lost the football. And Japan has recovered. Toronto with the recovery. The 2nd fumble by a United States running back, this time by Cody Childs. Turns it over just as they were knocking on the door.
And I tell you,
down.
They have created those fumbles as well. I mean, they put the hat on the ball. They've knocked it loose. This was another one. I mean, he put a hit on Childs. Watch this, another wide receiver screen coming back. So that ball had right on the football, and then the hit afterwards. Never saw him, never felt him coming. Ideally, you'd like to wrap that up as you feel that defender coming and hitting the football.
Watanabe made the hit. Toronto with the recovery. Japanese ball when we come back after this. Japan forcing another turnover, and they take over 1st down and 10 on their own 19-yard line. They've got a 10-7 lead. The inside handoff for Itani, spins and a 1st down. 13-yard pickup for Takuya Furatani. And he has shaken off the effects of that Dului hit earlier in the game, although he seems to be a little shaken up after that run.
Well, this was just bad tackling here. I mean, they set the edge. They had this play turned inside out. There should have been help right there.
Again, he was driven right into the ground.
Well, Chiquin comes up, you know, and he turns the play in. There was no help coming there. Yeah, see that's an old defensive coordinator saying put your nose and your head on the ball and on the man, and you won't miss.
I think Furatani's got that cut over the eye, and it might have opened up again. It's like you have a fight doctor on their sideline.
He keeps coming back for more, though.
1st down at 10 for Japan. They bring in Masahiro Ishino, and he'll get the handoff. Breaks through the line of scrimmage. Nice run there by Ishino. Picked up 8. Matt Ludeman makes the stop for the United States.
The guy that just made that tackle, Ludeman, he's not a big guy, but he's got a great motor. He actually doubles back to make this play, number 97. John Macvick told me that he doesn't have a future in pro football, but he's going to be a coach. That already on his laptop, he's got Playmaker Pro on there. He can dial up all the plays. He can bring it up. Anything John needs, he's had it backed up on his laptop.
They'll give it to the wide receiver, Maeda. He's got room down the sideline. Knocked out of bounds by Rob Rodriguez. But he gets out to the 40-yard line.
I said this offense is fun to watch, and you get a lot of misdirection. You get a lot of reverse action, a lot of motion, and they've had a lot of success here in this first half. A lot of quickness to get the ball into the open spaces. They've got speed on their offense, and they're giving this USA team fits right now with a lot of the things that they're doing.
Naoki Maeda. It's a 1st down for Japan. 2:22 left in the first half. Chris Carrino and Brian Baldinger with you. 2007 World Cup of American Football, the championship game. Kamizawa deep down the sideline, overthrows his intended receiver, Hasegawa.
Hasegawa got behind Calvert on the play. Ball was just overthrown, but it was a good shot. I mean, it's one of those plays in offense where you have to take it. You get one-on-one on the outside, you got to make the throw, especially on 1st down. It's a great throw to take your shot down the field, try to get a quick score. You can see Hasegawa behind Calvert there. Just missed just a little bit too far on the throw.
Brings up a 2nd down and 10 now. Tomizawa, they've used 3 quarterbacks. He's the thrower. It's Van Alstyne, you see. Loose ball. Let's see who's recovered. It will go to the United States. And it's Jeremy Van Alstine coming up with the fumble recovery after Tomazoa just lost it. And again, the wet field, the rainy conditions in Japan playing havoc here in this game.
No, you can see this is just right there, just ball mechanics. The ball got put in the belly of the back, and it got knocked out. I don't think that's the rain.
And, you know,
yeah, a little combination.
It's a combination problem.
But the first time they've had any problems with their ball mechanics all day, and the Americans were right there to jump on top of it.
So the United States has it. They get it out to Johnson. Wendell Johnson will go for about 6 yards on first down. Under 2 minutes to go in the first half. The United States on a Kyle Kasper-Bauer 5-yard run took a 7-0 lead. Japan answered back with a touchdown pass to Kihira, their defensive lineman who was eligible. Then a 50-yard field goal for for Kanioa of Japan, and it's 10-7. Japan in front, but the United States with it on the 46-yard line of Japan. Johnson again, and he's tripped up. That's a nice tackle that time by Makiuchi.
Say that name again. That sounds like fun.
Makiuchi.
Yeah, because that tackle there saved a big play. There was a lot of room to run if he doesn't make that open field hit. You can see here, Johnson's going to get outside. There's nobody outside him. He's going to go a long ways if he doesn't make that tackle. And we've seen good tackling from the Japanese today. The Americans look like they favor more of a power running attack. And sometimes when you favor that type of attack, it doesn't become successful till later in the game when you can wear a team down.
Now the United States calls a timeout. Coach Makovic calling a timeout. The United States will talk it over, and we're back right after this. Japan a 10-7 lead on NFL Network. Kawasaki, Japan, Todoroki Stadium. Championship game of the 2007 World Cup of American Football. Chris Carrino and Brian Baldinger with you on NFL Network as the United States comes out after the timeout, a 3rd down and 3. Adam Austin, an Illinois native, went to the University of Arizona. He'll hand off. Johnson to get up the middle. He's got a first down. That's an 8-yard pickup. Sukeda making the stop for Japan.
Ideally, the Americans would love to get in position for a field goal attempt, at least try to tie this before they go in at halftime.
Austin will throw on 1st and 10. And that is broken up. Nice play defensively by Kenta Kudo. We've seen him make a couple of nice plays defensively.
You're right. I mean, they've really defended the pass very well. The Americans haven't had one big play offensively in the first half, and then a couple of the intermediate type throws that Austin has attempted have been perfectly broken up and well timed by the Japanese defender like that. I mean, you can't make a play on a ball, especially with a receiver with position, any better than that.
Marcus Lewis couldn't bring it in with Kudo's play defensively. Austin to the air, complete. Dracon forced out of bounds by Kudo. Pickup of 7. 3rd down and 3 coming up for the United States with 31 seconds to go in the first half.
Dracon did a good job of getting out of bounds.
And that's Sayoka, who forced a fumble earlier. Now is a bit shaken up.
Yeah, the Americans have had 2 fumbles in the first half, which has really hurt their drives, and one reason why they've only scored 1 touchdown. And both fumbles were forced by the Japanese, where the guys really made good hits, put the hat on the helmet on the ball, and knocked it loose.
Of course, 1 fumble led to a Japanese touchdown. The other fumble stopped the United States most likely from getting a score as they were deep in the Japanese end. You get a look at Adam Austin, the 6'3", 218-pound quarterback who got his first start last year filling in at Arizona in a win against Stanford.
See, there's the difference between me and you right there, Chris. See, you look at the quarterback, Adam Austin. I'm looking at Matt Patrone there that just ear-holed that defender and knocked him out of the game. I'm saying that's good stuff by the left tackle.
Yes, there are many differences between us. That might have been one. 3rd down and 3 for Austin. That's complete. Good hit, but a first down complete to Steve Odom. Give him 5 yards. Tamanoi making the stop. See the United States, 1 timeout remaining. 26 seconds to go in the first half. They've got it on the Japanese 26-yard line. Austin again to throw. Chase from behind. Down he goes. Loses a yard. Wakisaka coming up to make the stop.
I don't know why Austin didn't throw the ball to Odom, who was standing right on the sideline, could have easily caught the ball and just walked out of bounds to stop the clock. Looked like he was looking at him, and for some reason he wouldn't make the throw.
The United States using its final timeout with 12 seconds remaining in the first half. And looking at a 2nd down and 11 coming up on the Japanese 27-yard line. And nice play though defensively by Wakisaka, captain of this team. Captain of the team making a huge play for his club right now as they lead 10-7.
See, not only did that sack hurt him, but they had to use their last timeout. So if they're going to try to attempt a field goal, I mean, any play they make right now, it's got to be to the sideline. They're not going to have a time to make any play on the field and be able to stop the clock for the field goal. Might be something to consider right now.
Well, they've got their offense on the field. Take a shot.
Well, they got to take a shot to the end zone. Coffin getting ready. Take a shot to the end zone or to the sideline. Really, the ball can't go anywhere else.
Austin to throw. Time. Airs it out.
All right.
Just double coverage. No one can catch that one. Incomplete. Now you've got time for a final field goal attempt in the first half. Craig Coffin out of Cape Coral, Florida. Saluki out of Southern Illinois. All-time 1AA points leader. 1AA All-American at Southern Illinois.
Well, the USA can tie this thing up here before the half, but Japan has outplayed the Americans, in my mind, in this first half. Both sides of the ball.
Remember, the United States got an interception on the first snap of the game and then scored a touchdown. Since then, it's been all Japan. Coffin, 44-yard attempt. No good. It is no good. The first half has come to an end in Kawasaki, Japan. After going ahead 7-0, we go to the locker room. Japan in front, 10-7. We're back after this on NFL Network. Moments away from the start of the second half at Kawasaki, Japan, the 2007 World Cup of American Football. The first half stats, Japan a 10-7 lead, dominating in yardage and time of possession. A couple of big turnovers as well.
Well, they have the turnovers, but I think just watching Japan's offense, I think they're controlling this game. I mean, you can see the time of possession. They've been able to convert, first downs. They've had a good balance in offense right now. I mean, to me, that's really been the story, is just how well Japan has executed on offense.
The United States got a Kenny Chiquin interception on the first play from scrimmage of the game. Kyle Kasperbauer scored on a 5-yard run after that. The United States had a 7-0 lead, but Japan has put up 10 unanswered after that, including Kenny Oya is the kicker right now, a 50-yarder from him, a field goal, and a 10-7 Japan lead as we get set to start the third quarter. Chris Carino and Brian Balding are with you. Ari will return this one from his own 7. Lots of room, lots of speed, and he is still going out to the 45-yard line. Sano finally brought him down. The United States will start out on their own 45-yard line.
I think Ari's returns have been the highlight of the American offense. Punt return and kickoff return. But I think what we're seeing here in the first half is the difficulty of putting a team together from scratch in such a short period of time, going up against a team that is almost like a professional team in Japan. And now it's up to them to adjust and to try to find a way to really make some plays here, to put more points on the board in the second half.
Japanese team, an average age of 28.7 years old. That's the oldest average in the tournament. speaking of the veterans, as the United States completes a pass. Draykon coming up with another reception. They'll get 9 yards on that. Nomura makes the stop.
I like that play. I like that play to start the third quarter. I mean, it's basically just a stop route by the wide receiver, but it allows Adam Austin to get the ball out of his hands, get an easy completion. You come back to the huddle right now, and you have just a little bit of momentum. You got a good yardage on first down. You got good field position here in Japan territory. You know, you want to keep this thing moving.
Casper Bauer back in at running back. He gets the call on second down and short, and he's got room down the sideline. 20 yards on a pickup by Casper Bauer, but a flag down on the play.
Not many flags to speak of in the first half. Very few. Well played game, but this one,
yeah, the second flag.
No, I think this one is going to come back.
Yep. You see Chris King, the center, disgusted after he checked in with the official.
74 Team USA.
Sean Robinson, the guard, on a hold.
Not often that the biggest player on the field is the referee. You don't see that very often.
No. So it negates that nice run by Casper Bauer and backs the United States up to their own 44-yard line, and a second down and 12 at a 43-yard line. Adam Austin under center. He's going to throw. He's going to run. And slides wisely at midfield. Picks up 6. Yeah, the official saying he was lucky. He didn't get a penalty, I believe, talking to the defender.
Yeah. I think they're trying to protect quarterbacks over here in the international game just like they would in the NFL and the college game, where once he slides, he gives himself up, and you can see that. That probably would get flagged in an NFL game, because once that quarterback begins to slide, you got to lay off him, especially with the head that came after.
That's Naoki Kosha, one of the assistant captains of this team. Casper Bauer strung out. He gets a couple of yards. Miwa makes the stop.
It's an odd call.
Now on 3rd and 5.
Yeah, 3rd and 5 to be able to just, you know, toss sweep right there. You think you put the ball in Austin's hands and let him work the field a little bit. They're just playing field position here to try and punt this ball away and put their defense out and continue to play field position in a very close game.
And you see Ken Shimizu, who was injured in the first half, back there in the game. Return this punt, won't get a chance. Coffin puts it inside the 20, and it was hit down by Diaz Calvert. We're back after this. Takata coming back in at quarterback for Japan. They lead 10-7. 9:38 to go in the third quarter. 12-minute quarters played in the World Cup of American football. Chris Carreno and Brian Baldinger with you. This game being played in Kawasaki, Japan, a southern suburb of Tokyo. Championship game of the 2007 World Cup. They'll give to Naoki Maeda, and he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. 2-yard loss as we see Josh Kubiak strung him out.
I think if people are just tuning in and they're looking at this game and they're saying Japan is beating the Americans at the American game 10-7 in the third quarter, and there's very prominent former college head coach and pro coach John Makovic on the sideline. What's going on? But we're seeing a team here that is very disciplined and really has a good game plan about how to play the game.
Takata out of the shotgun on second down at 12 with the play clock running down. Pressured, and he goes down. Sacked for a 3-yard loss. Shelton Bynum, the 6'5" lineman, coming up to make the stack. He played his college ball for the University of North Carolina, and the Tar Heel coming up with a sack.
You know, all these players are college, have played in college at some level in the United States. That man, Shelton Brown, he is, or Shelton Bynum, he's a guy that John Makovic believes can play at the pro level. And John knows a little bit about that. He was the offensive coordinator for the Cowboys for 2 years, in between stops at Wake Forest and Illinois.
Yeah, Takata forced, and he is brought down. Jeremy Van Alstine got him. A loss of 5. Sets up a 4th down and 20 coming up. The defense coming to play in this possession.
Well, you look at what the USA have just done the last 2 plays here, and what's different here in their first defensive possession of the 3rd quarter is they're blitzing. They blitzed on both these plays that led to sacks, and it's clear that that was a change at halftime, that they were going to apply more pressure to the quarterbacks of Japan.
Van Alstine, a former University of Michigan player, coming up with another big defensive play, bringing some pressure. They're able to get it off. Namiki punts it away, and good field position for the United States. When we come back, 7:53 to go, 3rd quarter. Just a 30-yard punt for Namiki out of his own end zone, gives the United States terrific field position on the Japanese 35-yard line. With 7:53 to go in the 3rd quarter, United States down 10-7. Adam Austin, quarterback for the United States. Short drop, pump. Austin throws deep, incomplete. Marcus Lewis was the intended receiver. 2 Japanese defensive backs there as well, and an incomplete pass from Austin.
That's the old pump fake, pump, look left, and then try to go right to the post. One thing we've seen from the Japanese today, they're not going to let the Americans get behind them. I mean, they haven't had a chance yet today. A couple deep shots they've taken have been well defended.
Second down and 10. The United States, they pitch to Casper Bauer. Awesome. Nice running by Casper Bauer to 1st down inside the 25. They'll mark him at the 24-yard line, a pickup of 11 for Kyle Casper Bauer.
They like this toss pitch. Run this play a lot. They got a fullback back there, good lead block. Get a couple of linemen out front. And able to pick up the 1st down. Hadaway. John's done everything. He's put this team together. It's all fallen on his shoulders. He's been the cheerleader, the play caller, the head coach.
The challenge for a veteran coach, NFL lifer. 1st down at 10. Quick drop, incomplete pass. Steve Odom kept running up the sideline. Austin thrown out.
Well, we've seen a lot of miscommunication between the receivers and the quarterback all day today. One thing John has always had a lot of success working with quarterbacks. I mean, Danny White with the Dallas Cowboys, Jay Venuto with Wake Forest, took him to a Tangerine Bowl back in 1979. Jeff George at Illinois.
2nd down at 10 for Austin. And they'll give up the middle. Blakowski, he'll get about 4 yards. Nakauchi makes the stop. Japan 20-yard line. 3rd down at 6 coming up.
This has been the problem down. Coming up this 3rd down. You see here just really an all-out sweep. Trying to cut that up, but it's well defended. A lot of bodies to the ball. But this 3rd down is really what's prevented USA from sustaining drives, inability to convert these.
So a big 3rd down and 6 on the Japanese 20. Austin to throw, pressure, gets rid of it. 1st down catch by Marcus Lewis inside the 10-yard line. Nice pass by Austin with the pressure coming up the middle that time. And they convert on a 3rd and 6. Penalty flag does come down. Let's see what the call is.
Well, it's going to be a 1st down, but then it's going to be a late hit, I think, on Chris King, who's the center, who came in and was a little late, knocking a few of the Japanese around after the whistle blew.
Personal foul against King, and that will come back 15 yards. It will still be a 1st down, but it will back them up.
Personal foul, 78 in USA. It's a 15-yard for the 1st down.
So instead of being at the 9-yard line of Japan, it will be a 1st and 10 on the 24. So they actually get a first down but lose yardage.
I tell you, that's just frustration too, Chris, because really I'm sure that at the line of scrimmage, the linemen are saying we can dominate this game. We can handle the guys up front, but yet we've only been able to sustain one short drive for a touchdown, and that's just guys trying to get downfield, pick guys up off the pile, and try to just do a little bit extra to get extra yards.
So first down at 10. Casper Bauer back in at tailback. They'll give to Casper Bauer. He hops across the line, spins ahead, and gets some positive yardage. Harai makes the stop. Second out at 6 coming up for the United States.
Seen a little of that inside-outside from Casper Bauer, though. We've seen him on the toss sweep, being able to take it outside, but then we've seen him able to muscle it up inside between the tackles as well. So he got a little versatility to his game.
Native of St. Paul, Nebraska. Went to Nebraska Omaha, Division II school. Two-time All-North Central Conference player.
They know a little bit about football in the state of Nebraska.
Oh, they certainly do. Second out at 4. Casper Bauer again. He is hit. And he is put back after a gain of a couple. Azuma makes the hit and the stop. And the United States will again be looking at a third down. Suzuki, the linebacker, making the hit and the stop. Japan. Their defense did not allow a point going into this game. Only allowed the 7 points to the United States in the beginning because they gave up great field position after a turnover. On 3rd and 4, Austin. Deep. And incomplete. Marcus Lewis did a great job to get a hand on it, but it was thrown out of the end zone. 4th down coming up.
Well, give credit to a lot of people here. One, the Japanese have defended the deep ball, as we said a couple of times now, well all day. This is another example of it right here. Not fooled by the pump fake of Austin looking left first, then coming back right. Got a chance for it at the very back of the end zone, just a little long. But at least they got
coming away making it.
Yeah, but I mean, they're still in field goal range here with a chance to tie it up.
Greg Koff with a 35-yard field goal attempt trying to tie this game. It is up and it is good. So Greg Coffin ties the game at 10. 3rd quarter action, the World Cup on NFL Network. Greg Coffin's 35-yard field goal ties the game for the United States. Tied with Japan 10-10. 10 plays, 17 yards, 3 minutes, 35 seconds. Coffin will kick it off to Ken Shimizu. And that will sail out of the end zone. 4:13 remaining in the 3rd quarter. The 2007 World Cup of American Football. Tied at 10. We're back after this. 4:13 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Japan takes over on their own 20-yard line. Game tied at 10. Chris Carino and Brian Baldinger with you. The championship game of the 2007 World Cup of American Football. First year that the United States is competing in this event. This is the 3rd World Cup of American Football being played in Kawasaki, Japan. Mizawa, the thrower of the 3 quarterbacks for Japan coming into the game. And the inside handoff to Furitani. And he picks up a couple of yards.
Going back to what you were just saying about USA football and our first foray into the World Cup here. One guy that will watch this game will be Eric Mangini, head coach of the New York Jets. He's on the board of directors. His brother-in-law is a high school coach in Connecticut, and a lot of these directors and coaches met with Mangini up at their complex, Weeb Eubank Hall, and worked side by side with him as they were creating a vision about what direction they want to go with this.
Second down at 8. Omizawa. And that is complete. Nakajima makes the catch. Brought down by DeLuey, defensive lineman back there in the secondary. Pick up of 6 yards for Nakajima.
Yeah, Ryan Tully, corner over, thought he had it. He thought he had a pick 6 here. Somehow went almost right through his hands. Tully is 37. He thought he had one going the other direction. The thing about these quarterbacks from Japan, they seem to be pretty accurate. I mean, they could put the ball away from the defender like he just did there for completion.
On 3rd and 3. Tomizawa going deep, and it's complete. Maeda with the reception. It's the longest play they've had from scrimmage. Kubiak knocked him out of bounds, got a 1st down for Japan.
Well, this is another really good throw. I mean, difficult throw for a right-hander going left. Gets his feet set, though. Watch this throw. That's a tight spiral and right in the dead spot there. Gets blown up, but still hangs on.
28 yards on the completion to Naoki Maeda.
Good looking play. The old corner route away from the defender.
Nakajima, the wide receiver, is going to throw, and it's broken up, and a nice play by Rob Rodriguez. Little trickery that time. Nakajima, who made a reception 2 plays ago, this time going to the air, but a nice defensive play by Rob Rodriguez.
I love the call. I love the call in the near execution, because you get the player coming in motion on the handoff, and then he takes it. It looks like it's going to be a run that they've made many times today, and then you take this ball and make a throw out of it. Nice recovery by Rodriguez. Could have been a really big play for the Japanese.
Right there.
Yeah.
Rodriguez, who blocked 2 punts in this tournament so far, makes a big pass deflection that time. 2nd down and 10. They'll give it to Maeda. Maeda is knocked down for a big loss. He loses 5. Matt Ludeman makes the stop.
And Ludeman's got a lot of range. A tall, gangly guy. Probably going to be a future coach at the high school, college level, but good discipline staying home on that play, because it looked like the same play as before, except they didn't throw it this time.
Japan on the United States 49-yard line, but facing a 3rd and 15. Japan has done well on 3rd down in this game. Made their first 4 attempts. From the shotgun, Tomizawa. Set up a little inside screen again. This one is complete to Yoneyama. He won't have enough. Picks up 10 yards. They needed 15.
Well, that Ludeman circled back, too. He does have a good motor. Circled back to make that play from behind. It's Coach Abe that they keep showing on the Japanese sideline. This is his 3rd team that he's taken to the World Cup final. Won 2 of them. Got a tie score here in the 3rd quarter here today. Going for a 3rd World Cup title.
Probably take it before the game. You say you're going to be tied up. Final minute, 3rd quarter, you take that. 4th and 5 in a punting situation right now. Namiki will punt it away for Japan. Little delay, a little pooch inside the 20. That'll be fielded and out of bounds. So we'll be right back after this. Kawasaki, Japan, is out of the 2007 World Cup of American Football. Chris Carino and Brian Baldinger with you, as the United States and Japan are tied at 10 in the final moments of the 3rd quarter. Adam Austin out on the field as the quarterback of the United States will go to the air. Over the middle, intercepted. Takayuki Terada coming up with the interception, a big play for Japan.
Of all the throws that Adam Austin has made today, that's the worst one, because he threw that right into coverage like he never saw the free safety. There's a play action all the way. He's now made up his mind. He's going to pull the trigger and throw this ball. Well, you got a center fielder just waiting on this from Japan.
Japan takes over on the United States 42-yard line on the interception by Terada. Clock continuing to run. They'll just run a play, a couple of yards for Furatani. The 3rd quarter comes to an end. The 2007 World Cup of American Football, the championship game, tied at 10 as we go to the 4th quarter. And we've got it next. Stay right here. This is NFL Network.
I'm Mike Shanahan, and you're watching NFL Network.
"21 teams from around the world tried to qualify. 6 teams invited to the World Cup, but it's down to the final 2 and going to the 4th quarter in the United States and Japan, tied at 10.
Just looking at the guys sitting there in that instruction session there, and they're wearing USA on their chest. You know, I mean, it's our game. We started, we invented it, but they got USA on their chest. It means an awful lot to these players to go win this thing.
This
a lot
kind of
on
an
their
event
shoulders.
is unique, Brian,
Yeah.
and even the greatest players that ever played in the NFL never get a chance to wear a USA uniform.
No, it's a pioneering effort here on the behalf of USA football.
12-minute quarters, and the 4th begins with a run up the middle by Namiki. Got about 4 yards before Tully got him. That's Ryan Tully, the linebacker out of Harvard. Sets up a 3rd down and 5. Kitaro Namiki comes out of the game. They'll shuttle in. They've used 3 different quarterbacks as Japan. So the players, they're looking down at their belts looking for the play calls, right?
He's got the signal. They all look down, probably doing a number system. Flash the number, and then they look down to see what the call is.
Tomizawa has got the bulk of the play at quarterback on a 3rd down and 5. And he's got a man. It's complete to his tight end, Mayuzumi. 5-yard pickup and a 1st down to the United States 31-yard line.
Quarterbacks throw the ball with good anticipation here from Japan. Pick your pick. I mean, we've seen 3 of them today. As soon as the ball's out of his hands into a right spot, we've seen these guys accurate, throw the ball to a good spot and a good spiral. I mean, it's good execution there for the 1st down.
1st down and 10 on the 31-yard line of the United States. Japan with the ball, game tied at 10. Tomizawa pitches it out for Itani. It's about 5 yards before Diaz Calbert makes the stop.
Again, good misdirection. Good ball fake into the line of scrimmage, pull it out, and then run, you know, just a little flip the other direction. Making you stay honest on defense.
Abe, the coach of Japan, the defensive coordinator for the United States. 2nd down and 5. On the 26 of the United States. Shimizu in motion. Tomizawa to throw. And that is incomplete.
Looked like the receiver took his eyes off the ball. I mean, I like what Japan has done. They have attacked vertically down the field on almost every single possession today. I mean, it makes you keep the safeties back. But if we have a chance to look at this again, you'll see this. This is a pretty good throw. He throws it to the right spot. The receiver stops looking at the ball.
And Kenny Chiquin, who had an interception on the first play of this game, nearly had another one there.
Yeah, he sure did. He got his hands on the ball, only because the receiver stopped looking.
3rd down and 5. Tomizawa from the shotgun. Play clock running down. Just do get it off. Tomizawa, either a draw or a busted play. He's going to get a couple short of a 1st down. Dustin Allen, the defensive tackle, making the stop. And it's a 4th down and 2 coming up for Japan.
Well, Japan is forcing the Americans to be aggressive on defense. They actually emptied the middle of the field on the last play, took the safeties out, walked them up into the line of scrimmage.
Kenny Oya will try the field goal attempt. Trying to break the tie in the 4th quarter. Blocked. I think Chiquin was the one who had it, who blocked it. Now it's a free-for-all. But Kenny Chiquin, who nearly had the interception moments ago, comes up with the blocked field goal attempt. In a tie game in the 4th quarter, it was finally recovered Chris Thorner was there as well, but Shaquin getting his hand on it, and the game remains tied at 10.
But who are they giving possession to? This should be the American ball. Shaquin did block it.
Well, now the only way you'd say differently is if the United States then got possession.
Right.
Did they get possession and then fumble?
I never saw anybody. There's Shaquin.
Shaquin got it. Now, if the United States does not touch it, it will be U.S. ball.
Right.
But so apparently someone from the United States must have picked it up, started running, and then fumbled the football. And now Japan will get the football back. Being explained to Coach Makovic right now.
Yeah, I don't think John Makovic is going to. Well, let's just take a look, see if anybody possessed the ball, because I didn't see anybody pick it up from the USA and run with it. See,
that's someone
there's
from
a scrum
Japan.
there. That's not a possession.
Yeah, if they're saying that's possession, that's a poor call. Diaz Calbert picked it up. Japan gets a break. We'll be back after this. So Japan has their 40-yard field goal attempt blocked. But as Diaz Calbert tried to pick it up, never appeared to have possession, but the officials say he did have possession. He then lost it. Japan recovers, and they have it back. And they'll run it straight up the middle for Otani. Runs for a yard. That's all. Second out of 9 coming up for Japan. The U.S. 45-yard line. 9 minutes to go in the 4th quarter of the championship game of the 2007 World Cup of American Football. Chris Carrino and Brian Baldinger with you on NFL Network. This game being played in Kawasaki, Japan, Todoroki Stadium. The United States had a 7-0 lead, trailed 10-7, tied it up here in the second half. And we're all even right now.
It does. It keeps that defense out there on the field even longer. And they've been out there quite a bit here through the first 3.5 quarters.
Tomizawa out of the shotgun, pressured, gets rid of it. Completion, a first down. Asagawa coming up with the catch and a pickup of 11 yards. Josh Kubiak on the stop for the first down coming up for Japan on the U.S. 34-yard line.
Once again, just good timing between and protection. I mean, we haven't seen a lot of leakage where the quarterbacks are under pressure quickly. Good pocket. And then nobody wants to go down too easy in this game.
First down at 10. On the 34 of the United States, Asagawa. Another completion. Again, it's Asagawa from Tomizawa. And Japan on the move. 14 yards on that reception.
Yeah, the fans like it, and what they're doing is they're beating the Americans in a blitz game. They emptied the middle of the field again, so you get one-on-one coverage on the outside, and you could see that Calbert just didn't close that gap quick enough.
Shohei Hasagawa, who played for the Amsterdam Admirals in NFL Europa in 2006, 2 straight possessions, totaling 25 yards. And Japan with a first and 10 on the 20-yard line. Inside handoff for Otani. He's got a first down inside the 10-yard line. Brought down at the 6 by Kubiak. First and goal coming up for Japan.
I tell you, that blocked field goal by the Americans, and then you don't get recovering of the ball. You go back out there. Mentally, you're let down. And it looks like a letdown here these last 3 plays. I mean, Japan has attacked them for 3 first downs in a row right now, and you just get the sense that they had them knocked out. They had a field goal block. They didn't get possession of the ball, and now this thing is kind of slipping away from them.
First and goal from the 6-yard line of the United States as you see a player down for Japan. Karamoki, the offensive lineman, he will come out of the game. See how he got injured. Oh, there's the contact. First down and goal from the 6. Game tied at 10. Tomizawa from the shotgun. Light in motion. Tomizawa will throw. To the end zone, Yamazui, and a touchdown. Takuro Mayuzumi, the tight end, and Japan has taken the lead.
Four straight plays after the blocked field goal result in a touchdown for Japan.
How often do you see your own field goal that's blocked, and yet you're able to come down the field and score in 4 plays?
Yes, just a real letdown after what could have been the biggest play of the game for USA.
Kenoya with the extra point attempt, and that is good. Japan takes the lead, 17-10. We're back right after this. Takuro Mayuzumi, the tight end, has come up with 6, and Japan takes the lead.
Pretty good play. It's a roll right and then a delay by the tight end, kind of a delayed drag across the field. That's how he got so open. He looked like he was blocking. Everybody went to sleep on him. The quarterback bought time, rolling to his right. Pretty good looking play right there, Chris. Well,
you've been impressed, Brian, with this offense all game.
Just, they get in the huddle, get out of the huddle. They execute. They've played keep away for a long time. They've converted third downs. We've seen some ingenuity, some creativity. They do a good job of taking care of the football. I mean, it's a well-coached unit, and it's been fun to watch.
Goes 12 plays, 42 yards, 5 minutes and 23 seconds. Of course, the big play, a 40-yard field goal attempt, was blocked by Shaquin, and then when Diaz Calvert of the United States tried to pick it up, appeared he didn't have possession, but the officials saw that he had possession, then fumbled. Japan got it back, and then scores, and they go ahead 17-10. Touchdown. United States will have it at the 20 when we return after this.
NFL Network, football 24/7.
Japan with a 17-10 lead. The United States will try and answer back after the touchdown by Japan gives them the lead in the 4th quarter. 2007 World Cup of American Football, the championship game in Kawasaki, Japan. Adam Austin, the quarterback for the United States. Quick throw. Oh, that's nearly intercepted, but it was actually complete. Drankon came up with a nice play. That's concentration with that defender coming right in your face and nearly slapping it away.
No, Dracon's been his best target on the outside the numbers. Just trying to get that quick completion. You know, I mean, you look at these guys here on this USA team, the 45 players, Chris. These guys weren't drafted. Most of them probably won't get a shot at the NFL. I mean, this, for a lot of these guys, this could be the final drive of football that they ever play again. I mean, it might be going through some of their minds at this point.
Lekowski gets 5 yards on that run. It's a 3rd down and 1 as he's just shy of the 1st down. Yeah, a lot of these guys grew up playing football since they're Pop Warner.
Pop Warner, you know, age 7, 8, 9, like most American kids. And here they are. This could be the culmination, and they really need to put a drive together here just to tie this up. And with time running down to 6 minutes here, this would be the time to do it.
3rd down and 1. Lekowski. A 1st down, and he keeps going. Ends up picking up about 8 yards. Sano finally wrestled him to the ground, but a 1st down to the 37-yard line. Lekowski, a 5'9", 194-pound back out of Hobart. 2-time Division III All-American. He has split carries with Casper Bauer in this game. 5 carries, 28 yards. Good average. 1st down at 10. Clock running. 12-minute quarters, down to 5:38 to play in the 4th. Austin over the middle. And that one is complete. It's Odom. And he's got 14 yards brought down by Kudo. Steve Odom making the catch.
I think what you see from these guys individually is just passion. Passion for the game. I mean, whether you're playing at Hobart, you know, whether you're an Adam Austin walking on in Arizona. I mean, just the feel of putting the pads on, going out and competing at whatever level it is. There's just something about being out there on that field, playing as a team that can't be replaced in anything else you do.
They'll give to Casper Bauer. He breaks it up the middle. He's got first down yardage to the 30-yard line. Finally wrestled down by Sano, but Kasperbauer with 19 yards on that first down carry.
Well, I think what you're seeing from USA here is they're not going to try to get it in one big play. I mean, it hasn't been there all day here today. They've stayed with the one run. They've been patient with the run today. They've had a couple of big runs, and they're staying with it now, even though they're down 7 here late in the fourth quarter.
Japan will use a timeout. They lead 17-10. We're back. More fourth quarter action right after this on NFL Network. Japan with a 17-10 lead. 5:02 to go in the fourth quarter. Chris Carrino and Brian Baldinger back with you in the championship game of the 2007 World Cup of American Football from Kawasaki, Japan. Japan taking the lead in the fourth quarter. But the United States has gotten their running game going on this drive right now. Kasperbauer, Blakowski, they have been the two-headed monster on this drive. The United States with it on the 30 of Japan. On a 1st and 10, Austin. Time airs it out way too deep. Incomplete.
What they've done on this drive, Chris, is they've opened up their offense. They're now in a shotgun. They're now spreading the field out, kind of going to Japan's version of the one-back option at this point.
Second down and 10.
That's where leadership is important at quarterback. I mean, they're down. They need a score. They need a touchdown. Austin has got to take control of this huddle, keeping guys pumped up and keeping them confident.
With a shotgun inside handoff, Blakowski avoids the initial contact and barrels ahead for 6 yards. Bring up a 3rd down and 4 at the Japan 24-yard line. Crucial stages of this championship game.
That playbook in John Makovic's hand, pretty streamlined at this point. 2 weeks to put this thing together. 45 new players. Probably not a whole lot in there. Probably had 2, 3, 4 times that much when he was coaching at Texas and Arizona.
Call it a 3rd and 5. Austin to throw. Pressure. Completed a first down. Drankon with another reception. And it moves the chains down to the 19-yard line.
Looks like your classic possession receiver, doesn't he? Hasn't gotten deep today, but a number of intermediate throws here. This one extremely key, keeping this drive alive on 3rd down.
Led the conference in receiving 2 years in a row, playing for Williams out of New Canaan, Connecticut. Now Adam Austin, can he complete this comeback? They'll pitch it out. Kasperbauer gets ahead for a couple of yards. Kosho makes the stop for Japan. 2 yards on first down.
Haven't talked a lot about the offensive line that they've been playing this game. Matt Padron at left tackle ran right behind him, along with Chris King in there, Atkins.
Now Blakowski split with Kasperbauer. They'll hand to Blakowski. He finds some room. Blakowski goes inside the 5. 12-yard pickup on 2nd down for Doug Blakowski.
Blakowski looks like a slasher. That was a good cutback that time. Against the grain, found a seam here. The old crossbuck.
They've just run it right down Japan in this drive. Not fooling around, just run the football. It's what you've done well. First down and goal on the 5-yard line. The United States trying to tie this game with 3 minutes to go in this championship of the 2007 World Cup. Kasperbauer dives in for a touchdown. Kyle Kasperbauer, his 2nd touchdown of the game.
Looked a lot like his first touchdown run on the opening possession of the game. Just great effort, being able to stay with the blockers, being able to twist the body, extend the ball over the goal line. Well, they needed that, though.
Kasperbauer, and it's his 3rd attempt, 26 yards on the drive, and that was just a machine-like. Coffin for the all-important point after to tie the game. And he does. Tied at 17. Final minutes of the championship game. We're back right after this. Kyle Kasperbauer ties it up at 17 here in the fourth quarter on this run.
Good job by the left guard, Marcel Burrow. Good job of picking his man off, and that's a play right there by a running back that they practice from the first day of training camp. This is like basic gauntlet here. Take the blows, deliver some punishment, and know where you got to get to for the touchdown. Smell the goal line. And for Adam Austin, that's a great feeling, as it is for the entire team to come back here with the best drive of the day they've had. Put it together to tie it up.
11 plays, 80 yards, 4 minutes and 16 seconds, answering the Japan touchdown and tying this game at 17.
Really a team effort. John Macvick said that they didn't have one disciplinary problem in the 2 weeks that this team was together. Got a special mention to go out to the equipment manager, volunteering his time from San Jose State, Taylor Hano, and then also to the athletic trainer, a guy that taped him, kept him together, kept him healthy, Yosuke Murashima from San Jose State. These guys volunteered their time for these 2 weeks, helping the cause here of USA trying to win this World Cup.
Coffin will just pooch it in the air, and a fair catch is made by Hasegawa.
Don't understand that at all.
He's been kicking it out of the end zone throughout the game.
Why would you settle for a good field position for Japan if you could put them back at the 20 with a touchback?
Well, they'll have it on their own 34-yard line. 45 associations part of the International Federation of American Football worldwide. 21 countries competed in qualifying rounds. 6 teams, Japan, France, Sweden, the United States, Korea, and Germany competed in this World Cup tournament. It's down to 2, and with 2:40 left in the fourth quarter, the game is tied at 17. And in comes Takata at quarterback. And he'll throw, looking to run, perhaps, and he's swallowed up inside. Shelton buying him all over him, and he'll lose 5 yards on that sack. A little surprised to see Takata in the game when Tomizawa had been playing so well. You see a little cramp.
That's exactly what it is.
Bynum.
Yeah, Bynum got the sack, but Shaquin came with the blitz here, number 33. He forces the quarterback to step up into Bynum. USA has had a lot of success here in the second half with their blitz, especially coming from the secondary.
6'5", 300 pounds, Bynum.
You'll see Bynum with the cramp in the leg. I played an American football game when I was with the Eagles in Tokyo. Still the most humid place I've ever been to in my life.
Yeah.
Oh.
We've seen a lot of rain throughout this game. It's been warm and humid.
One of those places where you get done showering after you play and you just keep sweating. It doesn't stop.
Big guy like you, perhaps.
It's easy. It's easy.
Shimizu in motion on second down at 16. Takata to throw, shovel pass for Tony. Tony makes the catch, but actually loses a yard. Dustin Allen makes the stop. Third down and 16 coming up.
Good job of staying home. They've had success in that little rollout screen, and Americans have seen it before work against them. That time they stayed home to make the play.
Bertani lost a yard on that. We saw him get his bell run by Dustin DeLuey in the first quarter, but he's come back, played a nice game. Former Arena League player. And back in the game, Tomizawa at quarterback with the play clock running down. On 3rd and 16, we'll draw play. Keep the clock moving. As they pick up 8 yards. Just trying to keep that clock moving, not to give it a chance for the United States. A minute to go in the fourth quarter, 4th and 9 coming up. Jeremy Van Alstine has made some big plays defensively for the United States. Too many men on the field here for the United States, perhaps. Been flagged out. Not seen a lot of them.
Did you see 12?
I might have seen 12.
Oh, that's good. That's good head count. You're good. Not many penalties in this game.
Substitution infraction. 12 men on the Team USA. It's a 5-yard penalty, but still down 4.
Yeah, I still
Tell you, one of the champion causes of this USA football is to develop officials, not just officials in the United States, where Mike Pereira, who's director of officiating in the NFL, who, by the way, this whole cause is being supported by the NFL and the NFLPA. They need a place for officials to go to get reps, just like players. At the NFL Europa for 15 years, they've closed that down. A good place where guys can learn the pro game.
Miki will put it away with just 23 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. Ari is back, a dangerous return man. Will he get a chance? He's got it. Oh, and he is still on his feet. Slowed up. And a good play that time made by Ken Nagata, just to slow up Ari enough that he couldn't get a return. The United States with all 3 of their timeouts remaining. But just 11 seconds to go. If they're going to have enough time here, we may be looking at overtime. College overtime style here in this 2007 World Cup.
And that's what they're going to go to. They're going to go to overtime. They're not even going to take a snap.
No chance for anything funny to happen late. They'll let it go to overtime. The championship game of the 2007 World Cup of American football will go to overtime, and we've got it next. The 2007 World Cup of American football builds to a dramatic conclusion right now. We've got overtime from Kawasaki, Japan. Game tied at 17.
We take that goal line. We play it in that direction.
It is college-style overtime. Teams will start on the 25-yard line. We'll have to see who gets the ball first as the captains come out to midfield.
If they have a coin flip here, Chris, what kind of coin is it?
Is some yen?
Yen? Yen? Yeah. Do they have a heads and a tail in the yen? These are questions I know you haven't had time to prep for.
I really thought I'd thought of everything.
Yeah. You weren't expecting overtime, but we've got tremendous drama and tension building here.
All right, so Japan did win the toss. They elect to go on defense, which is always a good strategy because you know what you have to get.
Right.
Japan has won the toss and elected the first to be on defense. They play from the 25-yard line.
So the United States will have it on the Japanese 25-yard line.
That is the line of scrimmage to start with. Everything else is as it goes. You can still get first downs and 3 downs and 4th down. You got to make a decision. Away we play.
This Japanese defense that hadn't allowed a single point coming into this game, the championship game, through the first 2. They had outscored their opponents 96-0. They gave up a touchdown in the first series to the United States that came after an interception that gave the United States great field position. They took a 7-0 lead, and then that defense did not allow a touchdown again until late in the fourth quarter when the United States tied it up at 17. They have been impressive. Adam Austin, walk-on from the University of Arizona, getting a chance as the starting quarterback for the United States team, starting the overtime. Austin pressured and sacked. Miwa comes up with a huge play at the start of overtime.
But that is not how you want to start overtime. Matt Padron, who's played a very good game at left tackle, got beat right off the snap, never recovered. You do not want a negative play on first down in overtime. Because now it basically puts you right on the edge of field goal position.
2nd down and 20. Loss of 10 on that sack. Austin again to throw. Over the middle. Incomplete. Broken up by that man, number 36, Takeshi Miyake.
Here's the strategy. I mean, the Americans haven't had, I don't think, a play over 20 yards all day today. So what you want to do is try to at least get some of that back to get in a better field goal range, because you want to come out with at least points on your first possession in overtime.
3rd down and 20 from the 35. Austin out of the shotgun. Complete. Lewis short of a first down. Picks up 9. 4th down 11 coming up from the 26-yard line.
It's an important pickup. Got half of the back. Put Craig Coffin in a better position for this field goal attempt.
Made a field goal and missed a field goal in regulation. Craig Coffin, Cape Coral, Florida, Southern Illinois, one of the all-time 1AA kickers. 43-yard attempt, and it is good. So the United States on the board first in overtime. And they take the 20-17 lead. And that is why you saw Japan win the coin toss and elect to play defense first, because now they know a touchdown can win the game for them.
Exactly. I mean, they have made very few poor coaching decisions, I think, today. I think in line with that, the decision to take the ball after they won the toss in overtime was smart.
And now Yuichi Tomizawa, the quarterback, coming out onto the field. They've used Tomizawa mostly in passing situations. Takanta and Namiki have also played. They've looked to run the ball when they've been in the game. They'll start on the 25-yard line.
Conversely, USA knows what they have to do. They've got to keep Japan out of the end zone.
Japan needs a field goal to advance to another overtime or a touchdown to win it. Tomizawa, pressure, gets loose, gets free. It is complete, and a first down. Hasegawa coming up with a 12-yard reception after the tip. A first down for Japan down to the 13-yard line of the United States.
Boy, just a fortunate tip right into the hands of Japan, because it looked like USA came with the blitz. They got the quarterback flushed here. They're coming after him. But what great concentration.
Josh Kubiak
on the tip drift.
Deflected it first, but yeah. Hasegawa with the reception of first down at 10 for Japan. Shimizu in motion, takes the handoff. Forced wide, he'll go down. A 5-yard loss on that first down run. Diaz Calbert came up to make the stop.
Huge play, because it really, what it does is it puts Japan now in a 2nd and long situation. Puts a lot more pressure on their offense. Remember, they're just trying to keep them out of the end zone here. They'll settle for a field goal and to go into another stage of overtime.
2nd down at 16. Yuichi Tomizawa. Tomizawa. It is complete. Ken Shimizu with the reception. Picks up 8 yards. Carry Wade had the coverage. Brings up 3rd down and 7 as they get some of it back.
Huge call coming up here. In overtime, USA up 3. 3rd down. They've got to keep them from getting this first down. Forcing them to kick the field goal.
3rd down and 7. Tomizawa. He'll throw. Yoneyama only a couple of yards. So the defense coming up. Josh Kubiak making the hit and the stop. And a 4th and 5 coming up for Japan.
Huge. That first down play, the 5-yard loss, was key to that series.
And they're going to send out their place kicker, Kenoya. We saw him have a kick blocked, only to An unfortunate turn of events for the United States, only to have it go back to Japan, and they eventually scored the touchdown that put them ahead 17-10 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, Quinn blocked that one.
25-yard attempt for Kanoya, and a timeout is called.
Oh, yeah. You'll freeze the kicker.
Actually, Japan calls the timeout. I don't know the reason why, unless they didn't have their protection team set. You want to make sure you've got everything right going into this. You miss this field goal and you lose the game. This Japanese team composed of a lot of veteran players who play either semi-pro, they've played university ball in Japan. Those are the two big leagues in Japan. It is a history of American football in Japan that goes back to 1934. When the Japanese American Football Association began. A hiatus during the World War II years, but then started up soon after. 220 university teams compete, 106 high school teams, and 64 corporate-sponsored semi-pro teams in Japan. And they are looking to advance this to a second overtime. 25-yard attempt for Kanoya. It is good. Game is tied at 20. We will go to a second overtime right after this.
Football 24/7.
Kanoya of Japan, the kicker, he ties the game at 20. I see Abe, the head coach of Japan. He elected to defend in the first overtime after winning the coin toss. That means they will have the ball first.
The choice by Team USA, and they elected to defend that goal. So it's first down, Team Japan.
It is their choice in the second overtime, the United States, because they lost the coin toss. So they decide now to defend. And this game is tied at 20, and we begin the second overtime of play. They'll start at the 25-yard line. College-type overtime situation here in the 2007 World Cup of American Football, coming down to a second overtime. The U.S. and Japan tied at 20. Two teams that dominated this 2007 World Cup. Now playing it right down to the wire in Kawasaki, Japan.
And these players are running on pure adrenaline at this point. It's all about winning a championship. Been out in the field a long time today. This is their third game in 5 days, and none of it matters right now.
Great numbers from Yuichi Tomizawa, the quarterback. They'll give it up the middle for Otani. He's got ahead for about 6 yards on the play. Second down at 4 coming up the 19-yard line.
So he got his bell rung early in this game, and he's come back to play a really good football game, both carrying the ball like he did on that first down play and also catching a number of key screens and passes today.
Second down and 4 for Tomizawa. He'll throw. Pressure. Incomplete. Intended for Hasegawa. And it brings up now a third down and 4.
Fortunately for USA, it's one of the few times today where the connection between a quarterback and receiver wasn't there.
Pressure on the kickers in overtime. Kanoya tied it and sent it to the second overtime. Looking at a third and 4. Tomizawa will hand it off for Otani. Up the middle, and he cannot get first down yardage. Gets 2, needed 4, and a fourth down and 2 coming up. This is the first possession of the second overtime. And they'll send out Kanoya.
2 really good defensive series for Team USA here in overtime.
This will be a 34-yard field goal attempt. From the left hash. Suki Kanoya. The United States defense celebrating. The offense will come out onto the field with a chance to win this in the second overtime.
Did you see if somebody got a hand on that? I thought somebody might have deflected that ball. It looked like the path changed from when contact was made. Nonetheless, it's a miss, and it really sets up a great opportunity for USA to win this game.
A field goal will win it. They will start on the Japan 25-yard line. Suki Kinoya missing from 34 yards, and Adam Austin with a chance to win it for the United States. They needed a fourth quarter touchdown to send it to overtime. Inside handoff, Casper Bauer, and he gets ahead for a couple of yards. Yamanaka making the stop.
Chris, I don't think you'll see USA put this ball in the air. I mean, I think the running game has gradually grinded down Japan. I don't think they're going to take any chances. Sacks, fumbles, interceptions. I don't think they're going to take those kind of chances throwing the football right now. And that's not an indictment of Adam Austin at all. I just think it's a smart thing to do at this stage.
Got a good field goal kicker in Craig Coffin. Second down and 7. Casper Bauer again gets the call. Barrels ahead for a couple of yards. Give him 3. Makiyuchi with the stop. Out of the 20-yard line of Japan. Sets up a 3rd and 5.
That 20-yard line and right in the middle of the field. So good situation if they don't even gain anything here to be able to go out and have a chance to win it with a field goal.
Kyle Casper Bauer. The ball in his hands the last 2 plays. He's got 2 rushing touchdowns in this game. As you see Craig Coffin warming up on a 3rd down and 5. Austin again. Casper Bauer protects the ball. He has fumbled once in this game. Barrels ahead. He's got 5 yards and a 1st down. Creeping closer and closer. And closer toward perhaps a World Cup title. Down to the 15-yard line.
Casper Bauer scored both touchdowns today for USA, and this is just we've seen these kind of runs today from him. Puts the head down, he gets that spin going, and he keeps the strong legs moving, and then he picks up blockers along the way, and the convoy carries him across for the 1st down.
Barreling ahead. Either it's going to end up in the end zone or he'll have a good close field goal attempt. He'll give it to Bukowski now. Breaks to the outside. Hurdling defenders getting down inside the 10-yard line to the 6. Bukowski going for 9 yards.
This is a time for the offensive linemen to have some fun. You can just see these guys coming down the field right now and pushing the backs with them. They know that they have the line of scrimmage and that they can win this game, and there will be tremendous emotion if that happens.
Just short of a 1st down. They'll give it again. Bukowski will lose yardage. Yoneda knocking it backwards a couple of yards for Japan. Back to the 8-yard line. A 3rd down and 3 coming up.
Nobody can sit. The tension is mounted. Second overtime.
Again, the United States needs to score to win. Austin under center on a 3rd and 3. They'll give to Casper Bauer. He's ahead near 1st down yardage. Got a couple of yards.
See where they spot this. Looks like it's going to be
short.
short.
Just short.
Yeah.
And that will bring up a 4th down.
Yeah,
well,
I don't think so.
No reason to do that, Adam.
No. Time for
a 22-yard field goal attempt by Craig Coffin to seal the victory. Participating in the World Cup of American football for the 1st time, the United States on the verge of a title. Coffin's kick is good. And the United States, the 2007 World Cup of American Football champions.
There's joy and there's relief all together there in that USA celebration.
Japan, who had played so brilliantly coming into this championship game. And what an effort they gave in this game. And it ends on a Craig Coffin 22-yard field goal. The United States, champions of the World Cup 2007.
Japan played their hearts out. But for the Americans, they'll never, ever forget this feeling for the rest of their life.
This was fun, Brian.
Yeah, it really was. Surprised to me. Surprising just how good Japan is, how well they played.
An imaginative offense, some good athletes, quick players. The United States, in the end, they come from behind, tie the game late fourth quarter, go to overtime, and in a second overtime, they come up with a victory. Adam Austin had to shake off some shaky play, but in the end, he made enough plays to win it.
Yeah, he did. And showed some toughness and some leadership. Class group of kids, John Macvick said they never had a single player step out of line. They were a delight to work with. He said he was a little unsure how they would react if they would win. You could see the disappointment in Japan's face.
They won the first 2 World Cups. This is the 3rd, winning back in 1999 in Italy and again in 2003 in Germany. But in their home country, this game in Kawasaki, Japan, the United States comes out on top.
Got to give a tremendous amount of credit to John Macvick, really molding this team in a very short period of time. And I think that's what you're seeing here is a true team. 45 guys, that contributions from everybody in this world tournament.
It was a wild game. We saw Japan have a field goal blocked, only to retain possession after a controversial call and end up scoring the go-ahead touchdown in the fourth quarter. The United States comes down the field, ties the game, and go to overtime. As you see the players exchanging greetings, and momentarily we'll see Tommy Viking, the president of the International Federation of American Football. 45 associations worldwide. 21 countries involved in the qualifying round. 6 teams participated in this World Cup. Along with these 2 teams, France, Sweden, Korea, and Germany. The United States participating in the World Cup for the first time. They come away victorious.
It's got to be a great feeling for a player down there to wave the flag, wear the flag, salute the fans that have come out here. The USA logo on the helmet and on the front of their shirts.
And he's living good.
He sure is. That's a good name, isn't it? He's feeling good. I mean, living good is feeling good right now.
Even the great players have come through the years in the NFL and American football. You never just knew something new. You never had this opportunity to wear the uniform of the United States. And you're a former player, Brian.
I mean, we've seen it. We saw the pride of Team USA in the '84 Olympics. Jordan and Bird, those guys winning the Olympics that year, what it was like.
That is Tommy Viking, the president of the International Federation of American Football from Sweden. He will present the championship trophy to the United States.
What we're seeing here is
gold medals.
How far the America's game has come overseas. I've witnessed it for years in NFL Europa. And now we see it here in the Far East. There is passion in these other countries for our game that is most passionate to us.